We will now proceed to the conferring of the degree honoris causa.
For the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, Alan Doyle.
And I say, way, hey, hey, Chancellor. Today is no ordinary day. For today, somehow I am the opening act for one of the greatest showmen on earth. This fountain of affection, this instrument of joy that I have pinned here in front of you, silent and immobile, typically bursts onto stage with the kinetic energy of weather rolling in off the Atlantic, or of a raucous 2 a.m. on George Street, or of a rowdy kitchen party that won't wake the neighbors because the neighbors are there too. On an ordinary day, this man is all dynamic movement, all forward momentum, volume cranked up, strumming his guitar with abandon and singing in a voice gritty and large enough to rattle the rafters, but warm and homey enough to make you feel like you belong. The crowd here knows in its bones and hearts that in this province, music defines us. We have soundtracks to our childhoods, melodies tuned to our histories, chords that bind us together, and lyrics about our hard old lives shaped by trials and triumphs, fish and family, and above all, our legendary resilience and knack for chasing joy. As our man himself has put it, this is a place where songs lead the way. Born and raised on the Catholic side of Petty Harbour, Alan Doyle was immersed in music since childhood, playing with his uncle's band, fiddling around with the piano and accordion with his mother, and picking at the guitar and singing with his dad. The boisterous Doyles may not have grown up with plumbing, but with music and each other, they had what felt like everything. When Alan and his buds formed Great Big Sea in the wake of the collapse of the cod fishery, they tapped into and transformed a powerful musical heritage, reimagining traditional jigs, reels, and ballads at a time when folks really needed some hope and some community. And a loyal fan base grew and grew. As the charismatic frontman of Great Big Sea and later solo ventures, or as the author of 4 best-selling memoirs that are poignant and hilarious love letters to a life on the rock and a career on the road, Alan has shared and inspired a deep love for Newfoundland and Labrador, not as a pretty postcard or the butt of a joke, but in a way that has elevated our presence and reputation on the world stage. I think what makes Alan's success especially cool is that despite the hobnobbing and collaborating with major celebrities in film, television, and on stage, despite the many awards and accolades he's earned for his artistic and philanthropic impact, he remains humbly, authentically himself. Sure. Friendly and curious, a bit like an overgrown hobbit. He can be seen bounding down the streets of his home shire of St. John's, walking to his own gigs along Gower, wearing shorts to Sobeys in midwinter, and cheerfully chatting with humans and dogs along the way. Everyone who knows him will say that he is the merriest of men and truly just one of the boys who loves nothing more than his wife Joanne, his son Henry, making music and telling stories about this sometimes frozen, often windswept, always smiling land. Alan has the means to be anywhere, but he has chosen to drop anchor at home. So, it is now time to rant and roar on deck and below as we celebrate this homegrown star whose creative achievements are more than matched by his care for community and his pride for his people, this place, and the great big sea that surrounds us. Chancellor, for hauling audiences to their feet in kitchens, dive bars, respectable establishments and stadiums, here at home, across Canada and all over the globe, for telling our stories with humor and humility, and for using his fame to help others' fortunes, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, upon the Pride of Petty Harbour, Alan Thomas Doyle.
All right, man.
Is it up to you? I feel like you get the...
So Alan is wondering if I get the final vote. Yeah, this is difficult, you know. This is a big piece of work we got going on.
It is so, I must say.
All right, so by the virtue of the authority entrusted in me, it is my honor and my privilege, sir, to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Yes.
Right there. Awesome. Look at that. Oh, man, I'm going to do it. We're going to do it.
God love you, man.
Thank you.
Alan Doyle was born in Petty Harbour, Newfoundland and Labrador. His many and diverse impacts on the culture, identity, and reputation of this province have been immeasurable. While a Memorial University student completing his BA in English, he and his friends formed Great Big Sea, which would become one of Canada's and certainly Newfoundland and Labrador's most successful bands. As an energetic and authentic frontman, he has been uniquely capable of inspiring fans to fall in love with his romantic and rousing portrayals of our province. He is a member of the Order of Canada, a member of the Order of Newfoundland and Labrador, and is a recipient of the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal. For raising up audiences from Petty Harbour to the world, and for being one of Newfoundland and Labrador's best and proudest cultural ambassadors, Alan Doyle will receive the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
I now invite Dr. Alan Doyle to deliver his address.
I gotta tell you, I wasn't expecting this thing to look so good. I feel like I'm killing it here with this hat on, which is half the battle. I just said to Mr. Wells, I sat down next to him, I said, I think I'm a doctor now. And Mr. Wells leaned in very, very, smiled and was very friendly about it, but he didn't say, yes, but no prescriptions. Thank you. Thank you for that. What a day. Chancellor Ludlow, President Morrison, members of the Senate and Board of Regents and faculty and staff, graduates, families, friends, thank you. I'm grateful and humbled for the chance to be up here on this stage with the parade of awesomeness that we've just witnessed. What a gang. I'm also grateful for the opportunity to fulfill a bit of a lifelong dream of mine. I've always wanted to come to a full convocation and see it in its totality. This is my first one. Never been to one. I'll explain. When I got my Bachelor of Arts from Memorial University in 1936, I indeed did cross the stage for the degree, and I was so honored to do so. But in a perfect foreshadowing of the next 3 decades of my lucky, lucky life, I could not stick around for it because, you guessed it, I had a gig. Much like today, my degree was handed out in the 3 p.m. slot. And at 4 o'clock at a pub downtown, I had to start playing for the happy hour gig. So I gratefully accepted my degree. I walked off stage and out the side door and ran downtown to start singing songs for a living. So far, so good. I'm reminded of my grandmother whenever I talk about playing music for a living. I'm reminded of my grandmother Doyle in Petty Harbour. She's a very smart woman, and I went to see her right after we graduated. Went out to Petty Harbour, to go see Nan, as you would. And I walked into my grandparents' house, and I went up to see her. I said, "How are you, Nan?" And she said, "Oh, honey, the best kind, as good as you can be, How are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm doing great." She said, "I heard you just graduated from the university." And I was like, "I did, yeah." She said, "And I see you're still playing in the band." And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Not working?" Nope. So, thank you, Chancellor and everyone else for this opportunity to see a convocation in its entirety today. And I even get to stick around for the convocation address, which to my delight is being given by the person I loves to hear talking the most. My wife Joanne is here, and she told me not to tell that joke, but I had to do it, Joe. It's a good gag. So I am a first-timer, Chancellor, to this convocation and addresses, and I confess, I don't know how these things usually go. So forgive me if I does it wrong. I think I have 3 main things to do here today, one of which I have no trouble with at all, and in fact, I have already started it, and that is to say, thank you. Thank you to all at Memorial for this tremendous honor. I know it has my name on it, but if it's not against the rules, I would like to accept it on behalf of all the various people who have helped me and continue to help me make it look like I do all that stuff you just mentioned on my own. I most certainly do not. It would take way too long to individually thank all the people I could, especially considering I am the only thing standing between all of us and a Friday happy hour. Which will, of course, lead to the evening's viewing of the Montreal Canadiens winning Game 5. If we believe it, it will happen. So with apologies, I will just say there's a long list of people who help me all the time. And this list includes my family, some of whom are here today. My sis Kim is there, my wife Joanne is there, and my brilliant son Henry is right there. Give a wave, Henry. I made a note. Am I doing good? I made a note on the sheet to check with Henry because I practiced earlier, and I said, it's your job to tell me if I'm rushing or going too quick. How am I doing? Atta way, buddy. Thank you very much. So, if one of my jobs here today is to say thanks, let it be said and let it be said again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How am I doing, Chancellor Ludlow? Is all so far so good? Keep her going? Okay. I believe another important thing to be done here today is to say congratulations to the graduates. Well, that's another easy task because I've never been among a more impressive group in my life. I was asked to the president's reception on Monday, and I was amazed with all around me. They handed out some of the medals and awards to a few of the superstar students here at Memorial. I could tell you, I could learn a lot from that crowd. I learned a few things right there on Monday. Do you know that it's possible to get an average above 75? I'm serious. Like they were well into the 80s. And some of them even, I thought I heard someone say like 97 and 98, but I'm sure they added that up wrong. I suspect a lot of folks will say congratulations to you today, and I will too, but I'll add something else. Take a breath. Look around. Breathe in. The fact that you are all here today tells me that you're eager and forward-looking and hard-focused on what comes next. I am too, to be honest. I always have been. But I've come to learn that every now and again, there comes a day to briefly let next take a backseat to now. And I humbly suggest to you that today is one of those days, so don't miss it. Take a second or a minute, or shag it. Take the whole day, and just look around and realize what a great thing you and your friends have accomplished. So yes, from me to you, congratulations. And I suggest you do something I'm not sure you've done yet. I suggest you congratulate each other. Give each other a pat on the back, and give yourselves a round of applause while we're at it. Do it, and I'll do it too. Look to your neighbors, look to your buds. Tell them great job, they did it. Seriously. It's not nothing. It's awesome. Still good? Chancellor, still good? Thank you. Keep going? All right. I keep expecting to get the hook. When I saw that Chancellor Ludlow had the last vote, I thought it was like Canadian Idol or something. I was going to be voted off the island at any last second. I believe the third and final thing I'm supposed to do here today is to offer a message to the graduating class, and I believe it is supposed to be in the form of advice. From me to this crowd. If those other duties came easy to me, dreaming up what to offer in the way of advice to such a stellar group certainly does not come easy at all. You know, I'm often asked to advise younger people, and I usually confess that I am way more comfortable taking advice from younger people than offering it. I am in particular a bit dubious about the whole request for music business advice for young people, and I wonder if the very asking for it might be misguided sometimes. A frequent scenario for me is a person comes up and says, hey, my kid is thinking about getting into the entertainment business. Do you have any advice for them? Well, I usually respond with something that surprises most. I usually lean in and whisper, like, advice. Do you mean shortcuts? I feel like you might mean shortcuts, because if you mean shortcuts, I really don't know of any. I usually go on to explain, I don't think I've ever found a shortcut in my life, and I think that served me really well. Like, come to think of it, I really don't think there are any shortcuts in this life worth taking. So maybe that's one piece of advice I could actually offer here today. Don't spend any of your time looking for shortcuts. Just get at it. Take the long road, the one with the twists and the turns, and the potholes, and the moose, and the magnetic hills, and the drastic dips. Enjoy the ride. I bet you'll look back on the high points and cherish them. And I bet you'll look back on the low bits that stung so hard on the day and agree that they were the best part of all. Yes, maybe this is a little bit of advice that I could offer. After all, go boldly down the bendiest paths, the ones that you have no idea where they lead. I promise you this, you'll learn so much more from the missteps and the mistakes than you ever do from the victories. Sure, some of these paths will lead you nowhere, but with any luck, one of them will take you everywhere you want to go. How am I doing? Still good? We're still good? I feel like, I'm just worried because I feel like that was sort of advice and not exactly advice. So maybe, thank you. No, you're okay. It's a job hazard of mine because I'm used to people clapping for me about every 3 minutes or so. And when, you're all right, you're all right. Egg buddy. I feel like that was sort of advice and not full-on advice. Let me break my own rule and offer you a couple of notes that have served me well and just might be of use to you too. They came from the best of sources, my mother and father. From my mom, be good. Be a good friend. Be a good co-worker, a good partner and teammate, a good citizen, a good leader and follower, a good listener, a good mom or dad or brother or sister or whatever. Just be good. It was good advice in Petty Harbour in 1984, and I bet it's still good now. So as my mom advised me, I'll advise you. Be good. Now, I thought my father's advice was just about music, but I've come to learn that he likely meant it about a bunch of things. I'll tell you the story. I was about to perform a big gig a few years ago, and I was feeling a bit nervous, and I figured I should phone home. So I chatted to the folks, and as the call was ending, I told them I was about to walk on stage, and Dad casually says to me, "All right, sing loud in case you gets it right." Sing loud in case you get it right. It's good singer advice, but it means so much else, doesn't it? Make bold choices, take chances, be seen, be heard, embrace the uncertainty of the moment, and let your caution and nervousness propel you forward, not slow you down. Be as big as you care to be. Sure, if you sing loud and you hit a wrong note and somebody hears it, well, that's a bit of a shame. But a far bigger shame is to whisper the whole song and let no one hear the singular, beautiful, beautiful voice that is yours and yours alone. So, as Tommy advised me, I will advise you. Sing loud in case it gets it right. I'll leave you with one more thing, and it's not advice really. It's a bit of a secret. Some of you may know it already, but I'll just whisper it out loud, and so we're all in the same loop. Here's the secret. All of you have a tremendous advantage over everybody else graduating all over the world today. I'm serious. You are graduating from Memorial University. And I bet each of you here has spent extensive amount of time in Newfoundland and Labrador, and many of you are even from here and spent your entire lives in this glorious place. In either case, this gives you a real leg up on everyone else. The lessons and the values of this place have been swirling around you for a while, so let them sink in and carry them with you wherever you go, wherever the long road takes you. Pick any of these traits and don't let them go. We are university graduates. Yes, we are. We were also smart and intelligent in ways that can't be learned anyplace else. We are storytellers and songwriters and singers and players. We can write and star in shows on the CBC. We can host the biggest radio show in the country, or we can imagine, build, and open the Fogo Island Inn. We are outward looking. We are outward looking and curious and eager to meet new people. We don't just work hard, play hard. We work harder and play harder. As I love to say in Toronto and New York, we gets everything done an hour and a half ahead of ye, crowd. We are kind and empathetic, but more than most. We are not just welcoming and helpful. We are so welcoming and helpful, even on the globe's darkest day, that they can't help but write Broadway musicals about us. And yes, one of us can, and one of us will. scored the winning goal for the Montreal Canadiens tonight in grade 5. So don't just go out there. Go out there and be good, and rant and roar like true Newfoundlanders, and sing in case you gets it right. Come on, everybody. The music crowd will lead us. Come on. We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below. Everybody up, come on. Oh, well, Chili strikes bottom inside the two sunkers. Went straight through the channel, the top will go. I'm a son of a sea cook. I'm a cook on a trader. I can dance, I can sing, and I can reef the main boom. I can handle a jigger, and I cuts a fine figure. Whenever I gets in a boat standing room, come on, and we'll rant and we'll roar like on deck and below, until we set down inside the two sunkers. Went straight through the channel, the tides low will go. Went straight through the channel, the tides low will go. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much for this honor.
How do I follow that? No, I don't need the hat. The hat don't do anything for me. Dr. Doyle, that sounds kind of nice, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Listen, man, thank you. It's been a true honor knowing you and watching you, and there's stories I can tell you where you helped my family that you don't know about, like when we lived in PEI, how you and Great Big Sea caused them to remain rooted to Newfoundland when we were there. And many, many thanks. And I'm sure everyone here has a story. Thank you. Awesome. See, I got enough energy to keep going now. So this brings us near the end of your convocation. Debating whether I was going to do this